So I'm going to take you all the way back to where my car story first began, with my first truck. So I was 15 years old in 2001, and I was sick and tired of my sister having to chauffeur me everywhere I went. I needed my own set of wheels. Now, something you got to understand about 15-year-old me, I was not the 5'10", 200-pound, surly, don't give a crap what anybody thinks person. I was instead a 5'4", all the 90-pound, shy, timid, and I looked like I was 12 years old. Maybe even 10 years old. I looked young. But it was kind of the first thing that I really got some aggression on me about, is I wanted to go get my driver's license. So I enrolled in driving school, got through all that, had my learner's permit, and I needed a truck. Now, my dad worked for an electrical contractor, and he and my mom were pretty good friends with his boss, who owned the company. So the boss had bought his son a 1988 Chevrolet Silverado. It was a regular cab long bed 350 with a $700 Ford transmission in it. And he had taken it out to a place called Custom Trucks of Texas. Now, in the 80s and 90s, you couldn't spit without hitting one of these trucks. They were huge. They put on custom paint job, custom graphics. They gave the interior kind of a conversion van treatment. They had dual captain's chairs and wood grain everywhere. They had like the coffee cup holders that don't do jack for McDonald's cups. So they were really, really fancy inside and out. Well, his kid had it and eventually tore it up, and he got a new car. So the Silverado became the electrical contractor's delivery truck. Now, if you've ever been around construction, you know that they're not exactly nice to their vehicles, especially delivery vehicles. This truck, for 300,000 miles or 290,000 miles, had the ever-loving crap beat out of it. Toolbox had been ripped off from it going down a back road. It was had overload springs in the back, so it had kind of a muscle car rake to it. But beat to hell. I mean, paint job was all messed up, bed was beat up, interior was disgusting. I had been seeing this truck around. I'd always liked it, and my parents knew this, so they talked to the boss. It's like, hey, do you want to sell this thing? And he's like, sure, you know what? Give me like $700 for it. It was really cheap. So they did, and we went to pick it up, and it was sitting at the GM assembly plant in Arlington. It had 2 flat tires and was being used as a dumpster. The bed of the truck was completely full of trash. The inside was screwed up, but I didn't care because I had wheels. So I took it, I cleaned it up, put some new tires on it, I cleaned up the interior, and it was mine. Drove it for a long, long time. Anybody that knows me knows I change cars like I change my socks. But I kept this truck from 2001 to 2006 when I eventually sold it and bought a Cadillac Seville. Stupid mistake. But a lot of who I am today actually comes back to that particular pickup truck. It had its fair share of problems, heater, AC problems, electrical problems out the wazoo, because those GMT 400s are known for it. Well, my dad taught me a thing or two about it, and I learned and I worked on it, and I actually learned that I really enjoy working on cars, and that was a great truck to start with. But it also kind of spawned the earliest sparks of the raving reviewer, because some people did some dumb shit to that truck. I remember one time I was driving it, and it was misfiring something awful. I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked at it, I got so frustrated. Checked everything, plugs, wires, compression, ignition module, coil, everything. I could not find it. My dad walks out in 2 minutes and looks, and somebody had taken the ground wire cluster that fed the entire computer system, stripped the end off from it, and wrapped it around a stud on there and crimped a nut on top of it. It'd come loose, and it was jiggling out there and causing all my problems. It's like, oh my God, that's when I learned to start looking for stupid stuff. But yeah, I kept the truck for a long time. It had 297,000 miles when the odometer stopped, and I drove it for years past that. And I eventually sold it, and I think a couple of years later I saw it pop back up for sale, and I almost went and got it, but I figured it was better to let the old girl die, because she was not in good shape whenever I got rid of it, and it didn't look like anything had improved on it. But a lot of fond memories of it. It was a starting of who I am, and yeah, that's been my story of my first car. as always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more. If you have a car story, especially about your first car, drop a comment down below because I'd love to hear it.